cats are hungry. They're going crazy. So hello everyone, this is Alisha Costanzo, and welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing the book addiction tag because I really liked watching Drinking by My Shelf do this, which is where I found it. I know that's not the original creator. I think it was adapted for Booktube by Steph's Romance Book Talk. I will link all the things below along with the questions. So I have my questions here, and I didn't prepare for this at all, so let's see how this goes. Question 1, let's see. What is the longest amount of time you can comfortably go without picking up a book? This is a hard question. This year, I don't go a day really without picking up a book in some form. Might be able to go another day, but I always have a book with me. I don't really go anywhere, and I always like to have my books with me. Now, before that, it depends on your definition of a book. A book I'm reading, I read 2 books last year. So I went a while without picking up actual, books for pleasure. I did a lot of reading though. I edited 3 books last year, I wrote a book last year, I edited that, short stories and essays and all those other things. I did a lot of it. So it's not like I wasn't reading, I wasn't picking up things to read, they just weren't for pleasure. So, take from that what you will. Now who the heck messaged me? It's my mom. Alright, question number 2. How many books do you carry on your person, physical or device at any one time? Depends on what I'm reading. I do have physical books, so if I'm not reading something on my phone, I will absolutely have my physical book with me. Even if I have a physical book with me, I always have my phone, which I have about 800 and something books on my Kindle app alone. Plus I have Kobo and iBooks and Nook and Wattpad and Script. I have all the things. So I have all of those as well. I carry a lot of books with me all the time. And plus I have my Libby app too, which is connected to my library for my audiobooks. So I have all the books. I have all the books. I bring all the books with me all the time. Question number 3. Do you keep every book you buy or receive, or are you happy to pass them along to make space for more? Now that really depends. If it's a book I liked, I keep it. If it's a book I didn't like, I get rid of it. If it's a school book, then even if I didn't like it, I tend to keep it for reference. For example, I still have my business law book from my 4th year in college. First time I was a senior. Well, I guess I was the second time I was a junior. Yeah, because it cost me $400 and they only wanted to give me $20 back for it, and I was like, fuck that. I paid for it. I'm gonna keep it. And who knows, it might actually come in handy someday. But I still haven't. Do I keep books that I don't like? Not typically. I get rid of them to make more space for new books. I did like some suggestions of only keeping the books you really like, even if you just kind of like the books. That's hard because my husband and I have some different preferences, and so I keep his books. I'm not going to get rid of his books on him. And he might like the ones that I only kind of liked, so I pretty much keep most of my books. And I have about 1,000 physical books on top of my 800 plus ebooks. So yeah, I pretty much keep them. Most of them. Question number 4. How long would you spend in a bookstore on a standard visit? A couple hours, at least. Last time I think I was in a bookstore was with my dad, who is a fellow reader, and I think we spent an hour and a half in there, and it was a relatively small bookstore. It was a used bookstore, but used bookstores, you can find so many gems in there, you just have to keep looking. Major retailer bookstores, I will definitely spend 2+ hours in there just looking and looking and looking and touching and being around books, even if they don't have coffee. Yeah, I like bookstores. I would stay in them all day if I could. Just set up shop and a table and not leave. If I had a laptop, I would, yeah. Anyways. There's so many books out there. I just want to touch them all. 5. How much time per day do you actually spend reading? A couple hours a day, I want to say. Again, I read while I cook, so there's about 2 to 3 hours a day. If I go for a walk, there's another hour. I try to read in between breaks. So if I have an ebook or a physical book to be reading, in those times where I'm taking a break from actual work, I will sit and read. So at least a day. That sounds actually pretty good. I would like to start reading before bed, which I have been. I've been putting myself to bed reading. But sometimes I just work too late because I'm a workaholic. Number 6. Where does the task picking up a book appear on my daily to-do list? Well, I have my to-do list thing, and it appears here. Have I read? It's part of my tasks that I track every day. I also, of course, have my bullet journal spread So that, and I have 2 book bullet journals too. It's ridiculous. But I don't put it on my actual to-do list because I just do it. So I don't really need to remind myself to do it. Number 7, I pretty much already answered this question, but how many books do you reckon you own in total, including ebooks? Probably around 2,000 or more. Yeah. I have about 1,000 physical books and about 1,000 or more ebooks. I don't really know the true number of my ebooks, but a lot. I have a lot. I'm a freebie book whore, so the number goes up every day. Every day. Thank you, BookBub. Number 8. Approximately how often do you bring up books in conversation? A lot. Whether writing or reading. A lot. I like books. It's my profession. So my husband's a reader. My friends are readers. My dad's a reader. My mom I talk about books a little bit with, but usually my books because she reads my book. Well, I read her my books, which is going to be really awkward when I read her my erotica series because that's a lot of sex to read to your mom. Anyways, often. The answer to that is often. Number 9. What is the biggest book page count you have finished reading? Oh, I think I did this one before and I can't remember. I think it was Outlander, which I only kind of sort of enjoyed. There were parts of it I really enjoyed and other parts that I didn't enjoy so much, and it was a bit long. I'm pretty sure it's Outlander, which I think was 830 pages or so, just for reference. Number 10. Is there a book you had to get your hands on against all odds? Search bookstore, online, digging, a stalked author, etc. I don't think there is. Makes me sound terrible, but it hasn't happened to me yet, or at least not in a long time. There is one that I got, 2 that I got, that took me a little bit more effort. Both of them children's books, go figure. The first was Alice in Wonderland. I wanted to get one of the oldest copies I could find because that's my husband's favorite book, favorite story, movie. So for his first birthday with me, because his birthday's Christmas Eve, you can understand why I tried to make his birthday a priority. I made it theme Alice in Wonderland, and so I got him one of the first few editions of Alice in Wonderland picture book. I also was doing a retelling of a story about Mount St. Helen, or Lootwit, and so it took me a little finding and finagling to get to that book. And I'm sure I've had to do that for a few of my college books, trying to find them cheaper than I would at the school. So I've been on a few hunts that way. I've had like lists of books and trying to find some in-between stories for the series has taken a little bit of effort, but nothing too drastic. Nothing too drastic. Question number 11. Is there a book you struggled to finish with because you refused to DNF it? Yes. Lord of the Flies. Oh my god, that book was so hard to get through, but I promised myself I'd get through it. For less than 200 pages, it took me weeks to get through that book. It was worth the payoff. So like I do sometimes just push myself through books that I would normally DNF if I feel like there's a reason for it. If I'm just not enjoying it and there's like no reason for me to really be reading it other than it sounded interesting, bye. Like I put the book down. But if it's like you should have read by now kind of book, like that one was, I will push through it just to see what all the hubbub is about so I can actually say that I finished it and have a conversation about it. But that's really the only reason I would do that. Lord of the Flies. It's a hell of a book to get through. Question number 12. What are some of your main goals, book goals for the year? I have quite a few of them. I didn't bring my notebook with me. I want to, finish at least 6 books that I started previously and have finished. I want to read 62 books this year. I'm already at 50 something, so I'm doing pretty darn good at that. I want to complete 4 series. I have a whole slew of them. I will put in a screenshot of my book goals in my book journal for you guys so you can see some of these things. I want to read more books out of my comfort zone. I want to read books in new genres. I want to read books by new authors. I have my 20 by the end of 2020 list. Yeah, I have quite a few. Sorry for not being prepared. Number 13, we're almost there. Have you ever had the privilege of converting someone into a reader by inspiration or incessant nagging? I can't really take credit for this, but I feel like I got my dad back into reading. He was an avid reader before, and when he retired, I kind of like, go read something. Go pick something up, go read something. And I think one of the first books that he read out of his years slump was my book, so I'm excited to have gotten him out of that. I can also say that I did convert my mom a little bit into a reader, I'm going to try to get her to listen to some audiobooks and have her test that out, which is going to be the next time I get to go home. I'm going to have to do that. But she listens to me read to her often. And at least, guys, she's dyslexic, so she doesn't like to read. It's not her forte. And I like that she actually enjoys my stories enough to sit there and listen to them. I don't know if that counts, but I'm counting it. Other than that, most of my friends have always been readers or creative people in some capacity. So I've never really had that challenge of not having someone to talk to about books. My bestie, my chosen sister, Becky, is an avid reader too. My friends Megan and Donna are both readers as well. I think Kimberly reads. Most of my friends don't live around me, so like, Hannah reads, Kate reads. Yeah, most of my friends are readers. So I don't know if I ever got any of my students to become readers. That would be interesting to know. Last question. Describe what books mean to you in 5 words. I need books for sustenance. Books give brain a break. Refill your creative well. Hey, that was 4. Yes, please. More. Thank you. Alright guys, let me know your 5 words at least. Answer some of these questions for me in the comments below. I'd love to hear your responses to them, or do the book tag and let me know that you've done it in the comments below and I will go watch it. Anyways, thank you for watching guys. I really appreciate you being here and I'll see you next time.